And next, coming to the pathophysiology. So nothing much. We have already seen that the BRCA genes mutation can lead to ovarian cancer. So BRCA genes are tumor suppressor genes which are able to suppress the growth of unwanted cells. So here this gene undergone mutation and loses its function. So the cell growth, uncontrolled cell growth is not suppressed or controlled by this gene. So this result in the increased risk of women to develop either ovarian as well as breast cancer. So that much is there in pathophysiology. So how the mutation occurring in BRCA genes is like due to almost all those causes of cancer. It can be any cause, otherwise unknown cause, maybe familial origin. So there is staging, and stage 1 says that uh, the tumor is confined to one ovary or both of the ovary. And stage 2 says that the tumor is there in the ovary as well as it is within the pelvic region. The tumor is within the pelvic region, not spreading to the surrounding tissues. But in stage 3, it will be there in the ovary and in the pelvic region as well as it can spread to the surrounding tissue as well as it can reach up to abdomen. Stage 4 means it can go even beyond abdomen to other parts of the body. So that is about stages of ovarian cancers. 4 stages. Clinical features: the patient can experience abnormal menstruation, abnormal hair growth, maybe due to the excess production of testosterone by the cancer cell. Mainly it's seen in stromal cell carcinoma, stromal cell ovarian cancer. Excess hair growth can be expected and abnormal puberty development. So sometimes abdominal as well as pelvic discomfort due to the spread the patient can experience. When the tumor is compressing any of the related nerve, the patient can experience pain, back pain as well as leg pain. Patient most commonly seen sign is bloating. So bloating as well as abdominal discomfort or gas-like feeling, loss of appetite, gastrointestinal signs and symptoms. Sometimes constipation, sometimes diarrhea. All those things can be experienced by the patient, mainly due to the improper management of the fluid level in the body. It's commonly seen when the tumor is spread to the peritoneal lining. Urinary frequency as well as ascites. Ascites, as I earlier told, like due to the peritoneal spread, ascites can occur. Even the patient will be having pleural effusion. The cancer cell can affect the fluid level maintenance in the body. Otherwise, the deposition of the cancer cells into the pleural cavity also can lead to effusion. So these most of these signs and symptoms are not related to this affected organ or affected gland. So hence it is little difficult to find out, but nowadays the techniques are improved, and based on this the doctors as well as nurses are thorough with these symptoms. So as soon as the patient is coming, we will be taking a detailed medical history regarding the signs and symptoms. Hence we can categorize the patient into what type of cancer or what type of diagnostic procedure we have to do to this patient. So other type of signs and symptoms like nausea and vomiting, GI symptoms, fatigue, pain while intercourse, malnourished look, pleural effusion as well as unusual vaginal bleeding. So these are signs and symptoms we can expect in ovarian cancer. Most commonly felt signs and symptoms are bloating as well as abdominal discomfort, as well as the abnormal menstruation and abnormal development of puberty. Diagnostic evaluation, we have to do a detailed medical history, a pelvic examination, and blood tests. We have to go for almost all the blood tests like CBC, luteinizing hormone as well as follicular stimulating hormone level will be increased in ovarian cancer. Sometimes the cancer marker, CA marker, 125 will be increased. But nowadays it is telling that it cannot be practiced. In some cases, the CA 125 level is not being seen. But in textbook and all, it is written this marker, CA 125. Ultrasound, mainly transvaginal color Doppler studies can be done. Biopsy can be done to what? Do as a definitive diagnostic procedure. Other things like CT scan, X-rays, colonoscopy, and laparoscopy done prior to surgery. If surgery is needed, or we can fix the surgery by doing this test and marking the area, or we can find the metastatic area also. So these are the diagnostic evaluation. Management is surgery always. The initial treatment for all stages of ovarian cancer is surgery, because ovary is very small and almost all the ovarian cancers are malignant, is able to spread to the other part of the body. So usually the surgeries involve abdominal hysterectomy and bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy with omentectomy and removal of as much of tumor as possible with the help of tumor debulking procedures. So here we will see all those things one by one. Total hysterectomy means here we will be removing the uterus and cervix with a large abdominal incision. Two types of incision we can do, vertical as well as horizontal. The horizontal incision or the transverse incision is termed as bikini cut. Otherwise, we can go with vertical incision. Total abdominal hysterectomy and bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. So here the uterus as well as cervix will be removing along with fallopian tubes and ovaries. Unilateral salpingo-oophorectomy can be done, otherwise bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. Salpingo-oophorectomy means we are removing both the fallopian tube as well as the ovaries. For this, we have to use a large abdominal incision. TAH-BSO. It is termed as TAH-BSO. Okay. Otherwise, radical hysterectomy. In radical hysterectomy, we have to do pan-hysterectomy plus partial vaginectomy as well as dissection of the lymph nodes in the pelvis. So what is pan-hysterectomy? In pan-hysterectomy, we will be removing the uterus, the ovaries, the oviducts, as well as oviducts, mainly the fallopian tubes, and cervix and related lymph nodes. That is pan-hysterectomy. So what is pan-hysterectomy? Then we will be removing the uterus, the ovaries, the oviducts, and the cervix along with the associated lymph nodes. That is pan-hysterectomy alone. Besides that, in radical hysterectomy, we are doing partial vaginectomy as well as dissection of the lymph nodes in the pelvis also. So here there is images, total hysterectomy. The uterus as well as the cervix is removed. That is total hysterectomy. Here we are not removing the fallopian tube as well as the ovary. Means total hysterectomy alone we will not do in ovarian cancer. Okay.